One very important soft skill that every architect and actually every professional must have is not trying to be right all the time. What does it mean? Well, imagine the following scenario. You're in a meeting presenting the architecture you have designed for the system. Suddenly, one of the attendees raises his hand and he has a question which goes something along these lines. I think the stateless pattern is useless here. It will hurt the performance and will make the code much more complex. We should go for stateful here. Now, you know he is not right. You know that stateless is the best way to go here, since the system is going to face a heavy load, and since the uptime requirement is quite high, stateless is a natural choice here. But how should you respond? The first instinct is to say something like, well, you're wrong. Stateless is the best way because this and that. After all, you're right here, aren't you? But let's think about it a little more. There is one important thing we should never forget. What is the goal of this meeting? What do we want to achieve? Well, in this case, the answer is easy. We want to get approval for the architecture. Okay, now let's see. Who is the guy that asked the question? He is the CTO. He is the one that his approval you need the most. So now the question you need to ask yourself is this. What kind of response will help me get the approval? Do I need to show him that I'm right and smarter than him? Will that help me achieve my goal? Or perhaps I should take a different approach? Let's see. If you will tell the CTO that he is wrong, you are risking creating an antagonism towards you. You don't want that. If you will do that, you will probably be right, but hurt your chances of achieving the goal of the meeting. So what you really need to do here is being smart instead of right. And being smart means doing the thing that will help you achieve your goal instead of doing the thing that will make you feel right. And what is a smart response? Well, I would suggest something like that. Yep, that's a great point. We actually had a lot of thinking about this specific issue and we believe this is the better option. Let's have an offline chat and discuss it in length. Now, look what you did here. First, you gave the CTO a lot of respect by telling him that this is a great point and that the decision was not easy. You did not dismiss his question as nonsense and did not tell him he was wrong. Second, you offered a private meeting to discuss the issue. Again, you show a lot of respect by offering that. Third, and most important, you avoided a long, boring, tiresome technical discussion in the middle of the meeting. By suggesting you take this offline, you don't need to deep dive into it right now in the middle of the meeting. By the way, my experience shows that most of the managers will be happy that you offered them the meeting, but it won't really take place. They are too busy for that. And now look what you've got. Instead of a CTO who is mildly offended by you telling him he was wrong and by you explaining in length why he was wrong, you now have a CTO that feels you respect him and his viewpoint and does not feel dismissed by you. Which CTO is more probable to approve your architecture? You guessed it, the second one. And all this just because you did the smart thing and not the one that made you feel right. So always keep in mind, be smart, not right.